It is a dark and stormy night, and in a very worn-down castle, the echoes of a battle can be heard through the halls. At this very moment, a battle is taking place to decide the fate of the human realm. The demon lord fires a blast that knocks the hero party to the ground, and he tells them that while they have impressive power, they have no hope of winning this battle. One of the hero party members begins to lose hope, but then her leader stands up and tells them not to give up. As long as they have breath in their bodies, they still have hope. After seeing him push forward, the party regains their morale and prepares to engage the demon lord in combat again. The demon is preparing a new attack, and a group of heroes put their plan into action. The mage casts a shield around the party, which blocks the demon's attack but in the process is shattered. The tanker then rushes forward to draw his fire and gets hit with a punch that spews blood out from his body, but he's able to distract the demon lord long enough for the leader to get into position and attack. The other mage charges the sword with extra power as they put all their hopes and lives in the hands of the hero. There is a bright flash as the strike lands on the demon lord, but once the dust settles and the light fades, a hero falls down and spits up a pool of blood. His attack was successful, and the demon lord has been gravely wounded, but he states that, though he has been defeated, his minions will live on for an eternity, and he too will eventually be reborn. This victory is only temporary, as when he returns, he shall bathe the world in his blood-soaked, edgy vengeance. It then fades to a little boy in the future who turns out to be the reincarnation of the demon lord. Now that he is back, he'll get his revenge on the hero, Max, as he basks in his own self-asserted glory. He is interrupted by his servant, Xenia, who welcomes him back from his slumber. The demon lord asks where the rest of the demons are and is informed that the rest of them are still in a dormant state for now. Xenia suggests that he put on some clothes, but when he gets her old clothes, he finds that they no longer fit him as well as they used to 10 years ago. If it wasn't already obvious, he has had a dramatic size change since his power has not fully been restored to what it used to be. Therefore, his body muscles and PP are now that of a child, but it turns out his gender has also changed. However, Xenia thought something like this might happen, so she took the liberty of creating some clothes that might fit his new form. He complains about the outfits he's forced to put on, but he has a smile on his face. So, that leads me to believe that he actually enjoys it. But when Xenia pulls out a swimsuit, that is a line that he won't cross. But what did he expect when he decided to take fashion advice from Xenia, who was dressed like that? He asks about the hero and what he has been up to in the past 10 years. Surely, he has done great things and has been recognized as a great man. But Xenia informs him that the hero has actually disappeared. On hearing this, he thinks that the hero must have separated himself from society in order to train himself for their next battle. But Xenia tries to dodge the subject and distract him with the work that he has to do. But the demon lord isn't letting it go that easily. He deduces that Xenia must be hiding something from him and pressures Xenia to tell him whether the hero is alive or not. He has to find out, so he uses his third eye and is able to sense the hero's energy in the world. Therefore, the hero must still be alive. He plans to pop over to the hero's location to see him and come right back. But Xenia really doesn't want him to go. However, the demon lord is not one to be persuaded out of doing things, even if it is something as reckless as visiting your archenemy while you are in a weakened state that he could easily one-shot. He flies off to see the hero, and Xenia apologizes to herself for not being able to stop him. As the demon lord flies over the human city, it appears to look more like a modern city than the medieval stuff you'd be used to. He's gotten himself hyped up to meet the hero again. But when he finally reaches the hero's location, he finds a shut-in. The demon lord thinks he must have gotten the wrong room, but the guy confirms that his name is actually Max. Then he notices the holy sword in the corner of a room like trash. Max then realizes that the person in front of him is the demon lord, but he doesn't seem to care all that much. The demon lord then scolds him for keeping his room in such a messy state and starts cleaning up the room and messing with his stuff, and he just seems to be enjoying the modern inventions of humans. Max asks him why he came here at all, and he finally remembers what he wanted to do. He makes his grandiose claim to power and states that he has returned stronger than ever, and this time he will surely take over the world with his power and might. But Max couldn't give a rat's ass about what the demon lord has planned. He doesn't want to get involved. The Demon Lord is confused that Max doesn't care at all when 10 years ago he was so full of passion and conviction towards saving the world from the threat of the demons. But now he's just laying in bed without a care in the world. What could have changed? Max tells him that after he had defeated the Demon Lord, he was cast aside by the human world. They no longer needed a hero and forgot all about him, leaving him to fade into obscurity. A sad story, but one quick Google search later, it is revealed that every word he just said was cap. An article tells the story of his involvement in a scandal with a married woman, but he swears that he didn't know she was married. But the scandals don't end there, for there is another article about him attacking a citizen. And while he says he was attacked by them first, the Demon Lord guesses that he was just drunk and lost his temper. To put the final nail in the coffin and make it incredibly easy to cancel him, he cheated on 10 different women at the same time. It seems that the last one was actually not true at all. He had never met those women before, but as the internet goes, he was women harder than Will Smith's slap, and there was nothing he could do about it. The Demon Lord tries to cheer him up by showing him some of his highlights, but when he pulls up a promotional video for Max, it turns out to be an utter cringe fest. The cheesiest speech that you would ever hear, and the Demon Lord is cracking up just listening to it. But that's how it goes when you are famous. The internet looks for ways to cancel you. The Demon Lord looks at a framed picture of Max's companions and him from 10 years ago. The demon starts to fawn over the old Max and his physique and potential, but is starting to creep Max out a little. He hasn't seen any of his companions in years, which may be due to his insufferable superiority complex and egotistical nature, but he would never admit that to himself. He is going to stay like this, and he has no intentions of changing his behaviors in any way or trying to work on himself. He's a shell of a former Max. The Demon Lord realizes that this must be why Xenia didn't want to let him come here. She knew that when he saw the fallen hero, he would be incredibly disappointed, that his arch-nemesis is now nothing but a shut-in societal outcast. He gives up on trying to spur Max back into his old ways and announces his intentions to leave. But before he goes, he states that he's going to reassemble his army and plan another attack on the human world. And since they don't have the hero anymore, they will surely lose. It's going to be a cakewalk for him to win that fight. But Max couldn't care less. He's actually done with all that and really doesn't care what happens to the world or who wins the battle. His world is confined to his room, so he doesn't care about anything else. The Demon Lord then states that Max's companions are going to have a difficult time battling him alone. Maybe he won't just pop on over to their house and kill them immediately to get it over with. But Max still doesn't care. In fact, he encourages it since he owes a lot of money to one of his companions. So if the Demon Lord kills him, he won't have to pay him back for it at all. That one was too far, even for the Demon Lord. If he wants to act like a demon, then the Demon Lord will happily send him to hell once and for all. He charges up an energy blast in his hand and lunges at Max with the intent to kill. But Max is still a hero after all. He jumps out of the way and in half a second, knocks the Demon Lord across the room with nothing but a pillow. The Demon Lord is in a weakened state, so if Max actually wanted to, he could absolutely decimate him without so much as breaking a sweat. The Demon Lord is knocked out cold and later wakes up in a dark room. He has a Max closet and wonders why Max didn't just kill him immediately. It only makes sense to eliminate a threat as soon as possible. He opens the door and finds Max looking at something with laser focus. His eyes are so trained and on it that he must be analyzing something important in great detail. Never mind, he's just looking at the hub. The Demon Lord is once again disappointed in Max. But before he can pull out the lotion, the Demon Lord steps out of the closet and tells him that he should at least wait until he is alone to do stuff like this. Later, Max is making some coffee, and the Demon Lord asked why he didn't just kill him when he had the chance to do so. It doesn't make sense to let the Demon Lord live. But Max isn't the hero anymore, so that isn't his job anymore. And in fact, with the current public opinion of him, if he were to kill the Demon Lord in his current state, it would probably be news articles about Max killing a defenseless child within the hour. They sit down and drink the coffee, and the Demon Lord acknowledges that Max still has his power. He really knocked him out with just a pillow and did it with style too. But on the other hand, the Demon Lord has lost his touch, which makes it laughable that he even thought he would be able to get away with killing the other hero party members. But he swears that he will regain his power once more, and when the time comes, they shall have a glorious battle. But Max cannot promise that the battle will happen. He may still care about his friends, but he actually does hate the world since there is nothing left in it for him. It's been cast aside, even if it was due to his own actions. And in the end, if the Demon Lord causes trouble, a new hero will likely rise up to battle him. The Demon Lord finally takes the hint and leaves. Then he returns later with groceries and starts acting like Max's girlfriend. Max is creeped out by this, and at this rate, he's going to get a visit from Chris Hansen. The Demon Lord has decided to live with him, and they share a meal together. This was the end of the first part. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.